Welcome to CCS Season 6. I'm back with Hell Monkey Man. It's the opening night of the Collegiate Conference Series. It's back for a sixth consecutive season. It's time to crown a new champion this summer. Hell Monkey Man, it's going to be a fun one. Arizona takes on Illinois in night number one.
Deep within the state that doesn't believe in the sun and what the farmers and governments try to, make you believe is the right clockwork. And then over where literally there is just nonstop corn. We've got Arizona, we've got Illinois. What the heck's an Illini? I really need someone to let me know. We've got Wildcats that they're trying to make up for what was kind of a shortcoming in round number one for the CCS 5 big bracket. That one kind of fell short for them, but Illini, they had quite the run all their own, trying to make it. I think it was what? Where they? Is the other way? Oh, okay, got it backwards. Okay, well, either way, you know what? That's how the clock crumbles, right? So either way, we had a couple teams that one stumbled, the other one went a couple steps.
Arizona got to the third round, the round of 16, and took out number 3 North Texas in that route in the second round, and fell just short to Arizona, or fell just short to Florida. To see it in a thrilling 7-game series in the third round, and then Louisville upset Illinois in the first round in 6 games, and now 2 Titans to CCS go head-to-head tonight with a new third for Arizona in place of Goosenov, the graduated senior, as Kotala will take his place.
Hey, just because you got some graduates doesn't mean that your power ranking goes down at all. We'll get to see how these teams do fight it out going into our first matchups of the entire season. This summer is going to be hectic. I can definitely tell that there's now the freedom to go through the summer and see, all right, what are you going to do post-graduation? By the way, everyone need to give some love over to our Wonder Kid Nation, because now you're free. You don't have to worry about anything except taxes and stress,
You did a good job. But you know what?
Yeah, eventually, someday.
Graduated college now, so, congrats to me, I guess. But we're just waiting on Arizona to hop in, or is there in here, Illinois to hop in the lobby for this opening night game, and it's going to be a fun season. We're excited to see what happens this summer.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time, and I hope all of you are taking all the freedom that you got to be able to have some fun as well. Make sure to relax. For one, I put it upstairs. I'm learning guitar, so that's my midlife crisis. I think it's a little bit cheaper than a red sports car, but enjoy what you can out there. And I gotta wonder, because obviously I think it was it Akron that ended up running the table
Akron
at the top.
Won back-to-back championships, so.
Do you think the back-to-back, and do you think that's going to be kind of what we see this summer? Is it inevitability, or is there differences coming?
I think it's a high possibility. Again, Michigan State and Missouri set to return back this fall, so Thacker and Drexel probably going to run the floor again this summer. We'll have a repeat title game from Season 4. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But again, this is the only week I'm going to be here the whole week through week 3, because I'm gone next Friday through the 16th. So I'm going to miss all of week 3 and a little bit of week 2. But so we'll have to wait and see how this season unfolds. And I'm so excited to kick off Season 6 here.
It's gonna be a great time. We are obviously just waiting for one team today. Today's already had a lot of esports as well. I got to see some Halo that was happening. That was over towards Dallas, your neck of the woods, I believe. And so that was chill. Optic literally ran the table for today. We're trying to see some good old Arizona Illini kids as well. We were told in the chat that apparently an Illini is a badass. So I'm like, okay, well, that's one way to define your school. That's a pretty cool way to do it. The Wildcats, though, they would love to find that same kind of momentum that they got in the big bracket, the big dance last time in Season 5 going into this. And I feel like, all right, I needed to find even more based on people's free time, but the freeness has now gone as we got Osho Peaceful and Prism ready to go. So they've joined the lobby. We'll be joining you guys. It is only a best of 5. So I know that you have been used to BO7s for like the last couple of months. Well, that's gone. It's back to short time, full time, big sprints. Let's get into game number 1.
Game 1 is ready to roll. Hell Monkey Man, it's Arizona and Illinois to kick things off in Season 6. Again, both these teams made the national tournament last season, looking for obviously better results this summer, but it's going to be a long road to get there, and that road to glory begins tonight.
See who's going to be able to take that one by the horns. Remember, you don't have to get too weakened by whatever happens here in your opening volley and in your opening week, but it is a good measurement of who's ready first. And so far, Both teams have taken at least an early field trip downfield. That's going to find itself an open lane, but that Prism will be able to fill the gap.
Again, these non-conference games still very important to a team's resume come selection weekend, Hell Monkey Man. So again, every game matters in this series. And Amp finds the first, the Wildcats strike goal number 1 in week 1.
Amp will amp it up as they go slow. They got a teammate to drop with them, but it's Amp that goes for the dunk. That would have been the second time in a row for the Illini to come from that opposite side post and eventually get a save, but Amp played it slow and strong. They go on the board first, and that was a great call-off by against Katala. He just wanted him to kind of take a step back and watch him work.
And Katala, the newcomer here for Arizona this season in place of Gustav, and he's already kind of got the feel for how this season's going to go with this roster of Bob and Amp alongside him, who had Gustav behind them as the third last couple seasons in CCS. This Illinois roster still the same as last spring, so they're looking for better results this summer. But this is going to be a heck of a series, and what a series to start a season out with.
Yeah, so far, so good. We got one solid shot, and we're also getting some solid passing. Prism didn't recognize that one was coming as quick as it was. So you see all of Arizona now start to sprawl and spin forward. First minute and a half about to elapse as we're seeing a little bit more often of Arizona kind of closing this door. The Illini looked like they had a chance to kind of leap. That's a great takeaway as Osho will ring the failure gong. That'll be the first one for the season.
First one of the night as well, and Illinois still looking for their first goal this season. Hell Monkey Man might have a chance here as Osho couldn't put that one through the uprights, and the Wildcats will remain unscathed for now. 2 minutes in, and Illinois still trailing 1.
Oh, you got the third man. Osho can't really do too much with it. Amp has the lone goal, and well, 2/3 of the shots of Arizona. And now it's been Illini that have been just looking for moments. A third, again, as Osho has been really kind of put into that position for that stagger of successive shots. Kotala with the setup, and guess who? It's Amp. Great follow-up. That'll put 2 up.
Amp, a 2-0 start. He's got both for the Wildcats. 2:43 to play in Arizona. Right back to where they left off this spring. Their offense feeling themselves early.
Someone said they woid be upset if Illinois did not find success. So saw some welling of the eyes and a little bit of early tears. Nice redirect by Bob. And Arizona, you know what? They were stopped in round number 3, I believe you said. And this time around, it feels like they are trying to let Illinois know how you can run up through a bracket.
Yeah, they got to the top 16 and lost in the third round in Game 7. Almost had Florida beat. I believe they blew a 3-1 lead as well to Florida. So they almost had a way to the regional final with 2:15 to go. Arizona looking great out the beginning of the season here.
That was a great decoy play by Kotala as Amp continues to just be a menace. But you find a couple of great touches. Peaceful is aiming for both ball and bruising into an exhaust pipe. Can't quite connect with either, so Arizona will still be locked into this back half. Bob will find a demo. Tries to give it to a teammate, and guess again. Yes, in fact, it becomes 100%. Amp has all 3 goals Hattie put on.
And a hat trick for Amp to start this season. Last season, Bob was kind of the leading scorer for Arizona, and he was the main weapon to watch out for this Wildcat offense. And tonight, it's been all Amp so far. He's got 3 here in the night, and what a way to start his season out with a hat trick.
Hey, you know, you going 3 for 5 really just seems to be kind of the main offensive force. Oh, swing and a miss. Bob will get one of his own. Just created a Jedi mind trick from the other side of the pitch.
4-0, a minute 38 to go. And hell, Monkey Man, I mean, what's going wrong for Illinois? I mean, Arizona just has completely taken over this game offensively.
Bob the Builder is building doubt in the minds of the Illini. It just feels like they've had some great looks, at least from the perimeter, when they get upfield against Arizona. And that's exactly what we've been looking for. They've had too many times where they rise to the occasion. They just can't get any accuracy. But what a following touch by Peaceful.
Peaceful, the leading scorer for the Illini last season, 1:32 to go, gets his offense started, 92 seconds, and I actually got to meet the Arizona boys in person a couple weeks ago. They are a group of lads. They're funny guys, and it was cool to meet them at CCS Arlington, Texas a couple weeks ago, and this season they're looking to make a statement again.
I need to know. Now, they've said Amp is about nearly 7 feet tall. Is he just 2 guys in a trench coat, or is he really that big?
I can confirm that he is not 6'8". That's all I can tell you. But he is tall. But he is definitely not 6'8".
All right. Well, apparently his greatness might be a little bit exaggerated, but the numbers don't lie. Bob will catch up with him. That is a snipe from downtown, and that one pretty much, if it wasn't already, puts it out of reach against the Illini.
57 seconds, and Bob now chasing a second hat trick in this game, and that's a crazy work. Arizona has gotten everything they've asked for in game one here. Their offense woke up, their defense has shut down Illinois' offense, made piece of work for a difficult double to get the Illini on the board here. Game one so far, it's been all Arizona.
Good news for Illinois is that this is a best of, not just a best. Because so far, they've been looking the best out here on the side of Arizona. But still some work to be done.
Disgusting.
Combinations. I love that quick connection. Third man will still be here. Kutala may be the newcomer, but he's been feeding the beast between Bob as well as Amp, trying to get his own, making it a 3-2-1 combination of things. 20 seconds approaching here, Nation. Just need to run this clock.
And Kutala's fitting perfectly so far with this Arizona offense. He's already kind of been established in the passing game and the offensive style of how this series is going to be played so far. So as long as he can fill the gaps defensively, I think he could be a great addition to this Arizona roster. And I've gotten to know Kutala for a long time. He played in BLCS for a couple of years, and so it was kind of cool to see him be the new third.
I think it's always something special when you get to see, players that maybe they're a bit younger. They come through the high school, like even middle school now these days, like higher elements of competition. And then you eventually see them rise into not just maybe pro scene, but also collegiate. That stuff is always super special. I actually got to see a little bit of that from, I think it was Indiana. They have a player named Bluey for their premier team. So I think it's Indiana Tech. Yeah, so looking great.
He's an Indiana Tech.
But to that degree, you got to see that growth continue. And you know what? For all the goals they got, can't take them with them. Gonna go in the next 5 minutes.
And it's just one game that Arizona obviously scored high. We'll see if game two is a similar slate or if Illinois can get a good response here to even this series at one apiece. But so far it's been all Arizona. But one game is one game, and Prism finds the first lead of the night for Illinois.
You saw the two-man sweep coming out of this side of the zone. Kutala was a great follow-up, but Amp didn't have any boost, and he thought he was just simply going to be able to follow. Prism sets him up Lucy and Charlie Brown style and will knock it straight off his forehead.
Well, it's a 1-0 Illinois, but Arizona again. A 1-0 series lead, 2 games away from locking up their first win of the season here. But again, Illinois in game 2, so far, so good.
Majority of early pressure kind of is laid down here about this back hemisphere, just around that third. Bob will get them to tree jump early, and Prism catching that one just as he spirals out from that near side post. Now, the one thing that Arizona really poured on was immediate contact. They forced Illinois to have to come from around the perimeter and around these posts, but they usually were the ones to kind of get the scoring done early. Like the bump attempt, this ball dragging at the wall, but the first 60 seconds are now gone.
An Arizona contender in the Big 12 alongside Iowa State and former national champions Colorado are back to CCS this summer. So again, they've got a difficult schedule ahead of them through Big 12 play as well. How much you mean? So again, this game right here is a feeler to what's to come, and they're playing a high-level team from the Big 10.
I'm a Big 12 believer when it comes to collegiate football as well. I hope one of these teams goes absolute scataboo on these teams. So, hey, my man, I'm going to be watching him when it goes to the Giants. I cannot wait to see if they can actually use him and see if that becomes a powerhouse. But they're trying to see if Illinois can get another shot going. This one's a loose ball play, and it's going to get in. Bob will get the collision course.
Scataboo is a good running back at Arizona State. 3:21 to go, and Prism kind of gave a freebie there to Bob, and that touch off the backboard had a dime attached to it.
You guys think I don't know that Scataboo's ASU? I know, but you guys are Arizona, and there's some Big 12 that's happening. All right, I know. I'm not a not knower, but we're tied. Whatever. We're gonna leave that for later. So, Peaceful had an absolute heater in game number 1 that collected to all of nothing. Amp is just trying to play small ball, absolutely dimes and dashes against Osho. And he's going to win a nice fat 50. Amph is going to try and catch this off his nose. And they give him a lot of space so they can just push this right back in.
250 to play here in game 2. And then again, we're tied this time. And around this time last game, it was 3 or 4-0 Arizona. And Illinois have kept their defense composed here in game 2. Gotten a better start offensively as well. And it's been fun to watch. And hopefully this series, as it continues to progress, gets closer and closer.
They're baiting up at least a couple of, fat jumps from these players. That is a dangerous way to live, but Bob lives dangerously as he takes it right in front of his own net, daring anyone from Illinois to come up and meet and greet. Instead, it will be everyone from Illinois now punctured and pastured back as they are just turned into ashes and dust. Amph has an opportunity to feed it to Bob, but Prism gets the takeaway. There's not a lot of boost out there. Kotala looking for his time, but it goes sealing it out.
Again, the Big 12 and Big 10 always have a non-conference duel. And last season, the Big 12 won 9-6. And then the season before that, they won 8-7. So they're 2-0 against the Big 10 in this Big 12, Big 10 battle. But again, this season, it's the first game of that clash. Tail Monkey Mans will see who can start out 1-0.
So far, it's been a much more methodical moment here for both teams, but it's been at least a bit more recency here for Arizona in the last couple of minutes. Bob with a whifty against him and Peaceful. Everyone just trying to make for some quick volleying. That is going to find itself a moment, and Osho was hoping to read what was a chance at a clearance that now has prevailed.
Minute 15 to go, and Kotala left alone with no boost. Going to play this one off the back wall, take it towards the corner. 20 boosts to work with. Arizona defense trying to hold off the closing in attack here for Illinois. The defense is still perfect so far. Minute to go. Peaceful trying to put that one on the mark. Couldn't quite do so. There's the clear. 60 to play.
You're seeing some really solid communication, even in final moments, for this defense out of Arizona. Amph is bullying to that back line so he can steal a couple of big boosts. And you see the lack thereof for Prism. He's just sipping on 12s. Amph trying to keep close to that ball. And now this respawn of this corner allows Prism to break out. Can he get some flight time to it? No. Amph has his teammate bumped behind him, so that creates a gap. Can they get to it? Peaceful does.
Peaceful gonna put a second away here in game number 2. 31 to play. Kotala nearly got this save. They're about a half second too late in the touch, and with 31 to go, the Wildcats trail by 1.
Peaceful's been anything but. Dude's been violence. Oh, but can the Wildcats respond? Osho has had this ball taken away from him. He's been bullied off corners. Peaceful's going to leave this corner, in fact, and it's going to be a great follow-up. 15 seconds to go. Either tied series or a chance to go overtime. Kotala just here to stick around. Bob will send this one loose, but it's everyone from Arizona that needs to step up. Amph is doing exactly that. He's all of a decoy. They can't get the doink. And we go into game number 3, knotted at 1.
Arizona had to look there late too, with no time on the clock to tie the game up. But we go on to game 3. It's a 1-1 now, a best of 3 down the stretch.
Let's see. So everything's pretty much as even as you could really ask for a nation. I mean, we started off with a great sprint by Peaceful, and then, or rather by Prism, as he just kind of got it straight onto the forehead of a wayward collective possession. I think that was by Kotala. And then otherwise, Peaceful, I mean, now he's had 2 slammers to get into these games. Can they be a little bit more consistent? Can Arizona reestablish early control?
Well, their offense established early control in game 1 and just kind of ran away with it. We'll see if their offense could get themselves another high-level performance here in game 3 to get this series back under control. That's a roll 1 broken up again. Bob fires it off the post. No good.
This is bumper cars. If you ever want to look like what it's to just be able to play some Mario Kart and everyone's got a green shell and a conga line, it was exactly like that for the last 10 seconds. Bobbs takes a step back. It will be deleted. That's a redirect off your own crossbar, trying to body people on the recovery rotation. Strange givings right now for Illinois.
4:18 to go here in game number 3. And again, the offenses have had early starts in this game. The Hell Monkey Man, but again, game 3 here, no early goals this time around in the first 60 seconds.
Oh, you said that, but there's a chance. They were immediately trying to say, you know what, we can get one in the first minute, no big deal. And I gotta give a lot of kudos to Bob. We've seen obviously Amph has been just a monster, but it's been Bob who I think has been a very solid kind of second man. You get Katala looking to still kind of get that poise, get that chance to kind of get their feet into the grass, but Bob has been setting up opportunities for Amp to really shine.
Yeah, Katala's got big shoes to fill replacing Gusnov, and again, Goose is eligible to play this summer as a graduated senior, but we'll see if he makes any appearance at the course of the year. I know he's leaving for like a month-and-a-half trip to Europe soon, so he's going to miss a good portion of the season, which is why Katala's probably playing early on here in week 1.
Well, I hope he enjoys some good old EU. I went over there at least, well, just one time actually. I went over to Paris. It was a fun time. I don't know if he's going over to Scandyland. I definitely want to go that way eventually. But as they're going outwards and out over the pond, we're seeing if this one go over and around. Osho! All right, it was as slow as you really could see. Nice little collection. You get this undercut to the ball, and I thought someone was going to be able to catch that.
Well, it took 2 minutes for somebody to score in Game 3 in Illinois. On top by 1, 3:02 to go, and the Wildcats trail again here with plenty of time remaining.
See how this one kind of ends up panning out. This has been a lot of neutral ball play. We've seen so much just kind of round its way to the perimeter, and otherwise not the same kind of dagger-like striking that we're used to out of Arizona, at least from that first game. They may have used up all their goals. Katala, they'll be called up by Bob. They'll end up on the same kind of forward lane. That's a gap Peaceful will fill. Prism has a chance to get right back to it. He doesn't have a lot of boost, though, so he ends up as a kind of a wayward presence. Osho might have found something, but Katala will take it away.
The crazy thing is, too, is I think Arizona's outplaying Illinois right now, but in this series on paper, but when it comes to, capitalizing off mistakes, Illinois has done a better job than Arizona has so far.
Oof. And also, it feels like they've done everything but put their name on the paper. 90% of the job is done, and yet you have to get credit for it. Osho, he'll find a demo, and Peaceful maybe setting up something just over his head. A trade in kind as Osho is deleted out by Amp, saying, "Don't touch my boys. Get away from me." Bob forces Peaceful to bounce back, and it is just a demolition derby.
That it is, and Arizona is so good at establishing pressure and running with it, but again, they just never seem to be able to finish the job in the last 9 minutes of this series, and again, there's still a minute and a half to go here in game number 3, but the offense has to find a way to come alive soon. That they might hear. Osho going to play this one down the stretch for the Illini, and the offense now back in Arizona's territory.
That's a nice flip to be able to get that so high. They get Bob upwards. This kind of thing has landed before. Katala is just getting a bit of PTSD from the last time one floated over his head. He goes up, comes down, double commit. He'll get a hand up over Bob, and all the Wildcats are under fire. It has been a long time since they've scored, and I've only seen the Illini score against them in recency. End of game 2. Only one here in game number 3. Arizona's run out of gas.
50 seconds. They might have used all their energy up in game 1, hell monkey, but 48 still to go. Trying for a second. Will break 2 there for Amp, and now 40 to play as game 3 coming to a close. The Illini still lead by 1. Now a quick give and go downfield, though, for Amp on target. No good.
Oh, that's the 3rd time the bell has rung. Some of y'all better be graduated from school, but some of y'all is also having to deal with that Katala. He twists and turns. Amp to Bob. Slow play. Katala trying to get right back to it. Who's going to get match point? It's starting to look like the Illini. Over to Osho. They have 2 Wildcats in midfield. Swing and a miss. Peaceful underneath it. We see a big bang. And nearby, a double commit up, but that's going to be a nice clear. And this one should be signed and sealed. Arizona with one last gasp. They cannot catch up. Illinois will be on match point.
Illinois 2-1 Arizona. A couple of great looks late go to waste, and now Illinois a game away from clinching up their first win of the season.
All right. And again, for the most part, it's all of a single stat difference that we see between Illinois and Arizona. And I'm not just talking about goals, I'm talking about saves. They had to present themselves a lot more often to the, I mean, they got only one extra shot. It felt like everything that they were pushing upfield with was just being splattered against the perimeter. They weren't able to really take advantage of those quick sprint moments. So where does Arizona go? Because they've definitely gone somewhere. 4-4 not found. Got to see who gets first goal in this game.
Absolutely. Game 4 needs to be a good start for Arizona. They're going to have a chance to, extend this to Champions Field and, playing for a victory here against Illinois. But again, their defense has to be, near perfect here in Game 4. Their offense needs to reestablish consistency like we saw in Game 1. So they can establish those two things, and Game 4 could go very well for the Wildcats.
I just want to see a moment where Katala, where, by the way, he just went for like a tumble touch to be able to get that redirect, pre-flip to try and get it right up underneath that cut. Oh my gosh, what a shot, but what a save. The one thing I want to see is just solid connections by Katala. It just feels like he hasn't quite gotten into the rotation between Bob and Amp.
Yeah, and again, it might take him a bit to kind of, get established in this rotation and, make him feel comfortable with Bob and Amp replacing Gustav, who's, again, a big shoe to fill here for Kotala. But again, they're confident he's going to fill in this slot nicely, and we'll see how their season will progress. But tonight, he's been tested early, and so far has not directly passed that test yet.
Hitting the bricks, hitting the hexagons. Still, we had 7 goals collectively between both these teams in game number 1, 3 in game number 2, and all of the single in game number 3. So now we should get to negative goals, I guess. I think that's how the math eventually checks out. Mathematicians, you can check it for me. But for solutions to that, Arizona, they would love to be able to run up some more of this score, but they're just not getting the same amount of opportunities. Bob will be the follow-up after Katala gets like kind of a slow, kind of falling flip. Bob and Amp taking a moment. Amp has a free run of it, and he'll definitely send it over for Arizona.
And Arizona, it's Amp again getting started again from game 1. That's his 4th of the night. 3:12 to go. The Wildcats lead by 1.
That was such a interesting way to also recognize that you're going to have to go into a deep corner 50-50. They let one man and Bob kind of let that ricochet happen. And then it's just, all right, I parked my car, I waited out, and Amp there for the opportunity. So good looks by Arizona to keep things calm. And Bob, he's been the calmest point of interest for this entire team. Really, everyone actuates from what Alpha Bob is doing.
And again, Bob leads this offense last season, and he's going to do it again this season, I'm sure. So, again, they played through Bob, and he's a heck of a player, and he's a lot of fun to watch. And got to meet him in person, obviously, a couple weeks ago, and again, he's a great guy.
Tala wants to take control of this as well. Love the fly out, but Prism just kind of mutes all of that effort to the ceiling, gets a reset, but not a lot of boost to do anything with it. So you're seeing the long game, that deep, kind of deep second to third. Love this pancaked out twist. They force a man to launch. That'll go off the post, but the follow by Peaceful is always deadly. We're tied up.
1-1. Peaceful's got a 4th on the night. 2:18 to go, and it's Peaceful getting the defense completely faked out there. 1-1 with plenty of time to go.
See, I think what Arizona needs right now, they need to get the Goose loose. Goose, he may be graduated, but they need him out there, body paint and all, just really wearing the Wildcat head. Just gotta get him out there and getting some energy.
2-minute warning here. In the game number 4, Arizona trying to continue on this series into game 5 with a win here, as this one just off the mark and away. Peaceful. Big save again. He's kept Arizona off the mark a couple times, made an outstanding save to close game 3 at the end of the stretch there as well.
2 huge touches there by Peaceful, make it a 3rd as they just completely nullify anything that Arizona is trying to keep up field. Just muscular by nature. Osho can't collect on this one. This is a dangerous sprint. Bob, he gets it right back.
Who else but Bob? And when Arizona is in a hole, Bob always seems to find a way to crawl them out. With a minute 35 to go, the Wildcats lead 1.
See if this one continues well for Arizona. They got to force a game number 5. You guys would enjoy that as a season opener here for CCS's season 6. Summertime's going to be hot. This team might even be hotter. Katala There's a threat. Trying to get behind this ball. Osho, give it up over to Prism. Peaceful. Got to be watchful and mindful of him. If you're Wildcats, you still have less than 80 seconds to try and secure this game and get us to go the distance.
Arizona's got to be composed. They got to be disciplined. They can't, make bad decisions or, give bad touches that just give straight dimes to Illinois like that. That one's off the board. They'll thank their lucky stars. It is still a 1-goal lead here for the Wildcats.
We have now gone to more than a fistful of failure gongs between these two teams. Osho trying to catch up. Bob just not going to let him read it that quickly. And Amp is going to guard this midline, just keeping this one working into the corners. Make this field even longer to be traversed if you're Illinois. Katala, there is all of as an omnipotent threat. And Bob will slow this one down. He will be at least threatened. But that's for all of a second, and they are making this so tough to move upfield for the Illini.
Diesel's driving a 3-on-1 there as well by himself with no boost. And 18 seconds to go here. Arizona get a big break there, and now Kotawa chasing this one down. Gets to the crossbar, fires back for Amp with 8 to play. There's the stagger.
It cannot be understated how dangerous Amp is once he gets basically the small ball dribbling. That is so quick and clean. Osho was caught up underneath him and ended up giving him one tiny lift, but Amp already had that one secured. So 3-1, 9 seconds to go. We ring down to at least time left, and they might have a chance. No one there to shove it through for Illinois. So we're going game 5, y'all. Hope you enjoy a later night just before Memorial Day, because we're going to be celebrating by going the entire series.
On its Champions Field, and what a way to start the season too, Bucky Man. I mean, Champions Field, the first game of the season, couldn't write the script any better.
You guys got to know. Nation hit me up. He was like, "Hey man, you want to be able to cast like a late game?" I was like, "I don't know, man. I'm kind of old. It's like, are you sure?" And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Yeah, well, let's go. I guess game 5. Why not? Champions Field, banners up. Let's go Wildcats. Get it, Illini. Come on."
Arizona, Illinois, game 5. All the marbles here on a good start to your season with a big win, and this is going to be a game the selection committee looks back on in a couple of weeks here. So again, this tournament, 32 teams this season, only 17 conferences, so 15 teams will be selected at large. So every single game matters even more this summer.
So we'll see if this one plays into a long resume for one of these teams. An early week is often written off by the committee, but it's about how you're playing late that also kind of comes up. This one to be remembered. Amp, great flip reset, uses it off his nose. Bob with a shover, and he makes this one go off a defender. That'll be the first up for Arizona.
And Bob gets it done. 4:15 to go, and it's Amp on this setup again. He's been involved a lot for Arizona as well tonight. And again, it feels like for Illinois, it's obviously Osho and Peaceful that do a lot of the offensive damage for the Illini. But Arizona, they're a 3-headed Hydra, and they're tough to deal with offensively.
If you put those together, it sounds like you have a lisp trying to say a sentence that they are Osho peaceful. But I don't think that the violence that we're getting out of Prism is going to let that reign. Early on, I think this is also the first time in this series here, Nation, that we've had 2 goals in the first minute shared between teams.
I think so as well. Maybe game 3. I don't remember if that was 1-1 early. I guess or game 2. Actually, I don't remember if it was 1-1 early or not. But 4:04 to go. 56 seconds in. It's 1-1. As Arizona's goal was immediately answered back by Prism. As Peaceful wants a second. It's no good.
We're up to 6, y'all. Look, I like keeping track of it because that means the threats are there, but you just can't get the job done. Bob with a chance over to Amp. Doesn't have any boost, so that's all of a setup moment. Oh, Katala flies by and Prism does not. He sends it over his head. That'll be 2 for the Illini.
The first scorer has won every single game in this series, so that's going to favor Arizona as Illinois, though, in the minute 16 off the clock. It's made it 2-1.
Opportunists. Magic moment merchants on the side of Illinois. Catching them off guard and laying it down. Peaceful welcoming Katala to CCS in force.
And Peaceful, a third there, and both these teams very much so opportunistic. And again, minute 20 gone. It's about a 20 second span across those 3 goals for Illinois.
Yeah, it is just quick succession. This is the kind of triplicate of scores that really just kind of messes with your mental. But the mechanics have not been at all undervalued right now from out of Illinois, and that's just a catch and go. Is that a Hattie? That is 3 for 3. My man is getting everything he's fed.
326 Illinois, a 4-1 lead in Game 5. It's a 4-0 run.
Absolutely dirty. 4-1. Arizona, they had started off the scoring here, nation, and everything otherwise has just kind of gone and prolapsed into a defense that cannot respond. Bob finds a push up field. Bob scores, the only one that currently exists. Katala, oh, the tiniest little touch out of Peaceful, and that one otherwise could have at least cut this lead in half.
Arizona needs to get this lead down to 2 in the next 45 seconds, so if they can, to leave plenty of time for the last 2. There's a look for Amp. It's good. 2:55. The Cats back within 2.
Are we going to get a 9-goal game? Because that's exactly what needs to happen if Arizona intends to actually take it. Amp on the slow play, they catch it off corner. I did not think that a defender would be too late to keeping that one from going underneath. Yet, we have 6 goals in just a little over a couple of minutes.
2:50 left to play. Cotella missed there in midfield. That one had to kind of keep this ball in play. Now Osho fires off the post. The clear made by Bob. Arizona trailing back across Illinois territory. Bob and Amp, another finish. The finish is good. They're within 1.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Katala got this touch. It comes off sidewall, and then they just kamehameha between Bob and Amp. Every player on the Wildcats caught a piece of that one, and suddenly we got 7 up, and we have not even hit halftime. What in the world is happening?
Now Bob, 1-on-1 with Prism, is off towards the corner. Amp trying to fire on target. It's good. We're tied.
Oh my God. Goose. My man is an absolute psychic. He's like, don't count him out. Don't at all lay down on my boys. Do not go to sleep. It's not midnight yet. Don't be old. 8 goals, and we're a second past the half. We're good for like 16.
Congrats to gaming. Thank you, Andy, for the raid. Much appreciated. If you're now joining us, Game 5. It's opening night. Arizona, Illinois, both teams 0-0. This is the first game of the official season. 2:15 remains in Game 5 to get a locked up even game at 4.
This is about that moment when you're in a football game where the third quarter becomes a defensive battle. I don't know if I could trust that. This has been a high flying, lots of shooting, absolute breakneck momentum ride. This roller coaster is going to continue on as well. You got a 2-man rush. Katala set to receive if Bob wants to give it to him. He's there all of it as a decoy. Late jump, tries to set it. Amp going for the dunk. He instead gets a piece of Peaceful, and Peaceful's in pieces.
I think Arizona needs to get in the Wildcat formation here and play the air raid offensive attack. So, minute 38 to go. I mean, if they get their offense get to the Wildcat formation, it might be game over.
I've never seen a Wildcat go into full fly mode. You know what? I feel like that's too many claws and too much fur. That's a fantastic challenge out of Prism, though. Regardless of how the clock has swung, it has now been chiming at 4-4 for both teams for a while. We're all knotted up. One solid piece. Amp will be able to get a nice touch to it. He collects it, and they move forward.
Peaceful back in Arizona territory. The last minute approaching here. Bob off the backboard will find a touch across Illinois territory. Final 60 to play. 1 minute remains as Arizona and Illinois still even at 4 after a 4-1 start for the Illinois.
Do we get 8 goals in the first half, no goals in the second half, and an OT to decide it? Will regulation be where we find ourselves moving into bonus Rocket League? Amp trying to dodge his own teammates. They're getting bodied on the boards. Prism trying to collect it. It will go over to Katala. Oh, he can't quite get it inside the pipeline. Bob becomes a memory. Peaceful trying to soar. It's Osho that's around and around, just keeping this one away from their net. 20 seconds left.
18 to go. This clock becoming a big factor here. Kotala's in trouble. Osho trying to drop it down. There's a touch now back for Peaceful. He's left alone. Bob trying to get over and couldn't do so there. Arizona nearly capitalized off an overextension.
Katala met with a wide swing. He wants one last chance for his team to be able to get this one. Bob goes over the top. They will slam it to the grass, and we will pass over into overtime. Your season opener, summertime, is going to be a wild thing here for CCS. What do the Wildcats do? Katala trying to make it happen. That's a couple of demos and a chance for a counterattack.
The scriptwriters have been paying on overtime tonight, it looks like. Unlucky, man. It's 20 seconds into this OT, and Arizona was down 4-1 early. Now a snapshot. Katala, one-timer, no good.
Any more airtime on that? Any more extension to the other side post so we can be completely done and looking at a replay instead? This is where we go. Neutral field. Everyone retracting back for Arizona. Katala, he's not going to have that corner boost, so he's going to have to persist, but Peaceful gets a flip reset. Prism, he's going to see this one go backwards. Osho and all of the Illini kind of facing their own half, but they at least force the Wildcats to retreat. Everyone will reset, but Peaceful begins the barrage.
On a miss there. Double Quint now back for Osho off the corner. Bob finds contact here. The first minute of overtime now has elapsed. It's gone 3.5 minutes without a single goal across the second half.
You wouldn't believe that that would be the stat line we'd be talking about considering what was happening early on. Not at all. We had 8 goals, fellas. You can see it on the scoreboard, and the way that it happened just doesn't make sense. Bob with a follow. Can he continue to be that presence that this team needs? Katala with the setup. And Amph is just trying to dodge getting bodied. He wants to have another opportunity. So does Bob. He takes on 2. He's looking for a dunk. Can't get there.
And again, these defenses have locked in since Arizona brought this game back to equilibrium. Minute 32 to go. And Illinois trying to hang on tight. Bob fires. It's no good. Peaceful and Prism combined for the save. And Arizona now going to pull back.
Tala puts it to the corner, and he's got to get a teammate right around it. Otherwise, that'd be too fast. Bob will send it sideways. Oh, wayward. A drop in. What a save. It goes off Bob as well. Prism has a chance. He's going to break out around the boards. Corner in. Trying to set it up. He's got no one to go for it except for Amph. Swing, and swung. This pendulum continues to go up and down this pitch.
And there's the game winner. Bob gets it done. Arizona 5-4 the final.
GG's in the chat. Absolute madness between these fellas. What a way to kick off the season, nation. One solid shot, and it's just whenever they were able to grab the Illini's defense and scatter them to the boards.
Man, what a series, man. That was cinema. The script writers could not have wrote the script any better.
That's a way. That is one way to do it. But you know what? Congrats goes over to the Wildcats of Arizona. They looked fantastic in game number 1. Everything got much more methodically in control and in favor of the Illini or Illinois in games 2 and 3. Game 4, just enough to be able to get them over the line. And then game 5 was bananas. Look, I'm Monkey Man. I know bananas. So that one was absolutely bananas. Wow.
That was bananas. That was crazy. I mean, Arizona, again, they were down 4-1 with like 3:40 to go, I think it was. And then not even a minute later, they're back to tie. That was insane.
Yeah, that's one way to be able to do it. You know what? If anything ends up kind of perched up for the ears and eyes for anyone in the committee later on, and it's about the comeback nature of what this team has got to do. There's definitely a lot of growth, I think. Katala looking like he finally found what he needed to be and do between Bob and Amph. And then it felt like Illinois, they had to play a much closer game. That 4-1 might also come back to bite them, just to kind of elaborate on holding a game. But having an early lead like that, especially with that much time to go, that's a tough thing to do in Rocket League. But hey, both teams put on a hell of a show for us here in week 1.
That they did. We'll wait and see. Arizona, Illinois also will play again later this week, so we'll see if they can also start 2-0 if Illinois can get back to 1-1. But thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Craft Gaming for sponsoring this season and the raid, as well as Juice Leagues and Sideline Sports. But nonetheless, we'll see you guys later, likely tomorrow for more week 1 action. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.